The Masked Stranger. Halloween night was supposed to be just like any other year. I'd be the designated candy giver, passing out sweets to a parade of miniature monsters and ghouls. But something felt off this year, a thick, suffocating tension in the air. The kids seemed jittery, their eyes darting around as if they felt it too. Around 10 p.m., the trick-or-treaters finally thinned out, and the streets went quiet. I was just about to lock up and turn off the porch light when a loud knock sounded at my door. I jumped, feeling my pulse spike. Who would be out this late? When I opened the door, a lone figure stood there, a man in a pristine white mask with empty black eye holes. He was tall, too tall, wearing clothes that looked almost like mine. I could feel his stare through the mask, a gaze that seemed to reach right through me. "Trick or treat," he whispered, his voice muffled and slow. You're a little late, aren't you?" I tried to laugh, but it sounded forced, even to me. He didn't answer, just stood there, his head tilting slightly as though studying me. Unnerved, I dropped a couple of candies into his outstretched bag, but he didn't move to take them. Instead, he lifted a gloved finger and pointed it at me. "That's my costume," he said, his voice lowering. A chill swept over me. "What?" I replied, trying to keep my tone light. "I'm not wearing a costume." "Not yet," he murmured, "but you will." I shut the door, locking it and double-checking the deadbolt. I laughed nervously to myself. It was just some prank, a Halloween scare. But something inside me whispered it was more than that. I couldn't shake his voice, the way he seemed so certain. I walked back to the living room, turning off lights as I went, trying to calm down. I glanced at the hallway mirror and froze. Behind me, standing just out of sight, was the masked stranger. I whipped around, heart racing, but there was no one there. Just an empty hallway, shrouded in shadows. I took a shaky breath and laughed at myself. "It's just Halloween jitters," I muttered. But as I turned back to the mirror, he was closer, his gloved hand resting on my shoulder. I could feel the cold pressure of it, yet when I looked down, nothing was there. I stumbled backward, my breath coming in shallow gasps. He was just in the mirror, his face inches from mine, that hollow mask staring at me with a dark promise. And then I realized, his mask wasn't a mask at all. I was looking at my own face, pale and hollow, with black pits where my eyes should be. "No," I whispered, backing away, but his mouth stretched into a smile, a twisted, too-wide grin. I heard the creak of the front door opening, even though I'd locked it. My heart raced, and I could feel a chilling presence, the same cold grip that had touched my shoulder, spreading across the room. As I stumbled, trying to escape, I heard that voice, my voice, hollow and echoing. "I told you. It's your costume." I ran, but as I reached the doorway, my body jerked to a stop. My legs wouldn't move. My hands, trembling, reached up toward my face, and I felt the edges of something hard and smooth. A mask. No, my face. My last scream was silent as the mask slipped into place, sealing my own eyes, my voice, and my soul inside the hollow shell that had once been me. And somewhere, in the back of my mind, I could hear him laughing, whispering. I was finally wearing the costume.